which will be coming in the Agatantra perspectives. So in Agatantra perspectives, mainly regarding the first Ayurvedic parts we will discuss, and some of the important questions where the forensic aspects will be asked, that we will be discussing today. So going to this part, so here we have regarding, first we will go to the Agatantra definition parts and what are the main important textbooks which will be dealt here. So mainly when we go to the history, we have the historical aspects regarding Atharva Veda and what are the Prativisha Prayogas which are explained here. So here we have the Prativisha Prayoga and the Mantra Chikilsa, mainly for Sarpadamsha, which is done there. And regarding the Sarpadamsha Chikilsa and Vanaushadhi Yuddhakanda, these are the historical aspects which is dealt here. But the historical aspects are not so important because that will not be asked for the competitive exams part. So this part we will have. And these are the referential aspects. Whenever you're going to prepare a note or whenever you are trying to refer to the questions aspects, you have to see always these reference part, mainly Ashtanga Sangraha Uttara and Ashtanga Hridaya Uttara Tantra, and also regarding Kashyapa Samhitas, Gautamiya Tantra, first chapter also you can refer them. So whenever we are dealing with the Agatantra, there is the word Gada, means like Roga or the Pida, which we also know. So that is not the important part, and this is the shloka aspects there. So here we have the Visha Shushruta Kalpasthana aspects and Charaka Chikilsa 23rd chapter, that is the Visha Chikilsa and Visha Pradisheda Adhyaya of Ashtanga Hridaya are the most referred chapters, I think, while preparing the notes for Agatantra. And also you have the Uttara Tantra 35 to 38 chapters, and Sutra Sthana we have the Annapana Rakshavati. And this chapter is important because already in first year it is coming as Ashtanga Hridaya part. So Annapana Rakshavati is like whenever we are taking smaller things like, for example, you can take it as whenever in Dadi we are mixing the Visha, what will be the color change? And in the cases of Kshira, when we are mixing the poison, what will be the color change? These are the most repeated part which will be asked. So when we are coming to the Shushruta Kalpasthana Adhyayas, Shushruta Kalpasthana Adhyayas, where the question can be asked is regarding the Annapana Raksha Kalpa. And the Stavara Vishavijnaniya chapter, Jangama Vishavijnaniya, then Sarpadashta Vishavijnaniya chapter, Sarpadashta Vishavijnaniya chapter, then Sarpadashta Chikilsa Adhyaya, Dundubisvaniya and Mushika Kalpa and the Kita Kalpa chapters are repeatedly dealt in the cases of Shushruta Kalpasthana aspects there. So here we have regarding the Ashtanga Hridaya Uttarasthana chapters there. So whenever you go to the Ashtanga Hridaya Uttarasthana, we have the Vishapratisheda, Sarpa Vishapratisheda, Kita Lutadi Vishapratisheda, and Mushika Alarka Vishapratisheda. These are the chapters where you have to refer first for preparing or studying for Agatantra. So Agatantra, mainly the Pariyaya part. These are the parts can be asked there. So here, okay. Yeah. Okay, so here we have mainly the definitions, the Pariyaya parts is like Agatantra and Vishagara Vairodhika Prashamana. These were the important questions always asked, or always it used to be repeated first. So they were the important parts there. Am I audible, Dr. Asiya? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. So these are the parts which is usually dealt there. So here we have regarding the Agatantra. Network error. Okay. So here we have the Tantra part and regarding Tadatra Tantram, Agatantram, these are the parts which is explained there. And also when we come to the other names of Agatantra, that is called as the Pariyayas of Agatantra, we have the Vishachikilsa part, Vishatantra, Damshtrasikilsa, Vishavidya Danta. And this one you can see, the Vishagara Vairodhika Prashamana. This is a name which is given by Charaka. So sometimes a question can be asked like, Vishagara Vairodhika Prashamana is told by which Acharya? Like that the question can be asked there. So it is Charaka. And Janguli and all, Janguli it is mentioned in Kautilya Arthashastra. And Damshtra Chikilsa it is by Vagpata. Okay, the Damshtra Chikilsa is mentioned by Vagpata. Vishatantra is there and the Vishavaidhyaka part is there. Whenever we come to the modern aspects regarding the toxicological aspects, aspects. Here it is mentioned regarding the Egyptian and the Greek civilization, and the toxic chemicals and extracts are mentioned today. Okay. 1 minute. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Is it audible now? Yeah. I think, sir, is it audible now, sir?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Yeah. Okay. I think my video has gone, sir. That is the only thing. Video.
Okay, no problem. You can continue.
Okay. So here, whenever we come to the Paryaya aspects, is it audible now, sir?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Yeah, okay. I think my video has gone, sir. That's the only thing. Video.
Okay, no problem. You can continue.
Okay. So here, whenever we come to the Paryaya aspects, is it audible now, sir?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Yeah, okay.
Hello, ma'am. Are you connected now?
Sir, all the time the default speaker has changed to speakers real. Yeah, Dr. Asi, I'm here only. So the default microphone array, and it will now be used like that. The message is coming.
Okay, you can click on the audio settings,
Okay, sir.
and from there you can select the microphone.
Okay. In that one, the speaker and the Sreelakshmi
Same,
speakers is
same as system. You can select same as system.
okay. Here the microphone array. Okay, same as system. Yeah, I have clicked. Okay. Now we'll continue. So here, regarding the Agatantra perspectives, here the main synonyms part. The synonyms part is regarding the Agada and the Vishakna yogas, and the Paryayas part can be asked there. So here the Paryaya part and the definition of the toxicology, and these are the scopes of toxicology which is explained there. This is not so important. Where the important areas you will have to see is there regarding Vagbhatas, Damshra Chikaltressa I explained, and Charaka, the Vishagara Vairodhika Prashamana, and Sushruta, the name is given by Agatantra. So maybe the Agatantra name is given by which Acharya? That is a very simple question. But when it comes in the MCQ type of questions, you can get it confused. That is why you have to say, remember, Agatantra, the name of the subject is only depicted by Sushruta, because Sushruta was a surgeon, and surgeon used to remove the toxins from our body. Like that, you have to remember. So here it is regarding Agatantra, name was given by Sushruta, and Charaka has given the name as Vishagara Vairodhika Prashamana. And the Janguli Vidya, that name is given by Kautilya, and Vishatantra. These are also, this question was asked, never it was asked, but sometimes Vishatantra. This is a very simple question which can be asked. The Vishatantra is explained by which Acharya? Like that, the question can be asked. So here, whenever in the option we have regarding Charaka, Sushruta, Vagbhata and all, the things can get confused. That is why Harita has mentioned regarding Vishatantra. That you can mention there. Then it is regarding Then the next part is regarding Tantra part is finished. Okay. So here the Tantra part is asked here, and then regarding Aga Tantra's part of other names of Aga Tantra is finished. We have finished the toxicology aspects and the scopes of toxicology is finished, the preclinical aspects and what are the clinical toxicology aspects which is mentioned, like the long-term exposure to the chemicals, disease, and what are the illness associated, and also regarding the forensic toxicology, fish and aquatic organisms, the toxinology, and the regulatory toxicology with the toxicogenomics. Like this is one of the unexplored area of Agatantra. If at all you go for Agatantra seminars or CMEs or anything, or in case you get a PG in Agatantra, whenever you select a PG thesis, give importance to the toxicogenomics, because this is one of the areas where in the future can be evolved there. So the toxicogenomics can be asked there. And the gene and the molecular profiling can be asked. And the Visha Vyutpatti, this is part. Visha Muchchade, Vishadhanat Heto, like that can be asked. And this is the Visha Utpatti shloka which is mentioned. Like like in Bhagavad Gita, the Visha was taken by the Shiva and the small particles fell to the earth. That one shloka, that is the reference from Bhagavad Gita. And then other one is regarding the Kaitapa Asura. Kaitapa Asura, when the Brahma was doing the Srishti Utpattikana, there is one more shloka there. So Kaitapa Asura is related to which Samhita, like that the question can be asked. If at all it is asked, you have to always remember the question is regarding regarding the Visha Utpatti there. So Visha Paribhasha is there. There are about 5 quotations which are told for Visha Paribhasha there. So that we will deal with it first, okay? So here, okay. So this is regarding the Visha Utpatti part, which is explained here. So already we have explained the shloka regarding the Visha Utpatti there, regarding the Visha Utpatti part, which is mentioned there. So Visha Utpatti, it is related with the Visha Purusha part, which is mentioned there. So the Visha Purusha part, it is called as the Kaidapa Asura part, which is mentioned there. Okay. Okay. So here, the first part of the shloka is regarding this famous quotation where it is told as Amrudartham Samutretu Matyamane Suryasure. That is one of the shloka where it is explained regarding the Visha Utpatti there. And some of the shlokas, wherever you have to give importance, is regarding Visha Paribhasha. So the Visha Paribhasha, one shloka is Vishadam Janayati iti Vishaha. Vishadam Janayati iti Visha. Like in the story, in the mythological story, it is telling like after seeing the after seeing the world becoming Vishada, or in the case of depression or the sorrow, the Visha has originated. From the word Vishada, the Visha has originated. It is told from Shushruta Kalpasthana, this quotation is telling. Asiya, you are able to follow? Dr. Asia, you are able to follow? Okay, fine. Then the other one is regarding Jagat Vishannam Tam Drishtva Tenaso Vishasanyataha. This quotation is from Charaka and Ashtanga Hridaya part, which is mentioned there. And Visha Vyapnodi, that is the Amara Kosha part, which is mentioned there. And Visha Viparyoga, that is from Shabda Kalpadruma, which is mentioned. And Visham Uchchede Vishadhanat Heto, it is from Chakrapani part, which is mentioned there. And another part which can be asked regarding Visha Pariyaya part, which is mentioned there. So the Visha Pariyaya is like, yeah, okay, Dr. Asia. So the Visha Pariyaya is like Shveda, Garala, Kalakuta, Halahala, Dharada, and Aheya. These are the part where the Visha Pariyaya can be asked there. Visha Pariyaya, these are the part where the Vishaparyaya part. So sometimes the Shveda, Garala and all we can always correlate. What are the Shveda, Garala, Hala, we can always correlate. So Shveda, Garala, you can help. One thing we cannot get, that is regarding Darada. Okay, Darada mainly it is also coming in Rasa Shastra also. So sometimes this word Darada part can be confused with the Rasa Shastra part also. So Darada means it is the synonym of Visha, you have to remember. So you have to remember whenever the toxin is coming, Dhar lagta hai. So dar means the fear will be coming. So whenever the toxin is coming, we have the fear. Fear means the dar is explained there. That is called as Shveda and the Darada part which is mentioned there. Then the other one is regarding Visham Uchade Vishadana Hetoha, that is shloka, and Aheya. Aheya is another synonym which can be asked. Aheya part is another synonym. So Darada and Aheya, Shveda, Garala, Kalakuda. Of course, these synonyms you are very familiar, so no need to tell about this part. Then whenever you are coming about the Vishapurusha part, this is the part which is explained. That is the Deepta Teja, Chadutamstro, Harikesho, Analekshanaha. These are the synonym part which is mentioned there. So here we have the Vishabheda. Then the other one is regarding the Vishabheda. Vishabheda is according to Sushruta, Charaka and Madhavanidhana. It is about two types. Sushruta, Charaka and Madhavanidhana is two types. That is regarding Stavara and the Jangama part which is mentioned there. Stavara and Jangama part. Okay. Okay. So this is the Vishapurusha, like Deepta Teja, Chaturudamshra, Harikeshu, Analekshana. Like you have the greenish hair, the 4 teeth, and also regarding Analekshana. This is the part which is mentioned for Vishapurusha aspects. And this is the part where it is explained regarding the Stavara and the Jangama Visha is explained by Sushruta and Charaka and also Madhavanidhana. So there are 3 types of Visha which is explained by Sushruta, Charaka and Madhavanidhana. When the other one is explained regarding Ashtanga Hridaya. Ashtanga Hridaya has started from the basics. Ashtanga Hridaya told, no, the shloka part or the differentiation part is called as Kritrima and Akritrima. So it will be like Kritrima and Akritrima Visha which is explained. And Akritrima is called as Stavara and the Jangama. Like the natural one is the Stavara and the Jangama. And Kritrima Visha, it is explained as Gara and Dushi Visha. That is the, sorry, not the Dushi Visha. The Kritrima Visha is explained as Gara Samyogaja. Like the Gara Visha is explained. So this is the most basic classification which is told by Ashtanga. So whenever you go to the Visha classification, maybe the best classification you can see in Ashtanga Hridaya, because the best classification is told in Ashtanga Hridaya, like Kritrima and Akritrima what it is, and then Kritrima you have this and Akritrima you have this. But Sushruta, Charaka and Madhavanidhana has directly gone to Stavara and the Jangama Visha. So the best classification you can see in the case of Ashtanga Hridaya. And Ashtanga Hridaya is a very small book, not very difficult. Like it's not, compared to Sushruta and Charaka, it is easy. Like that it is telling. So in that way, you can correlate as Kritrima and Akritrima. Then we have the Stavara and the Jangama and the Kritrima Visha. That is told by Sharangadara part. And the Kritrima Visha is of 2 types. That is the Gara and the Dushi Visha part. This is the Shishtuppati Krama by Kaidapasura part. And these are the Visha Gunas which is mentioned. This is the shloka. Maybe you have not by heart it. Then no need to by heart. Just Lagu Ruksha Mishadam, Luksha Mashu Vishadam, Vavai Tikshnam, Vikasi Sukshman, like that the shloka is explained. And this is similar to the Madakari Dravya. Madakari, like as Buddhim Lumpati Yadravyam, Madakari Taduchade, like that it is explained. That Buddhim Lumpati Yadravyam, Madakari Taduchade part. And then the next one is regarding the Dravya. What are the Dravya and which is the Vevai Vikasi Sukshma Gunas which is explained there. So according to Charaka, Shishruta, Ashtanga Hridaya and Sarangadara and all, what are the Gunas which are similar? So whenever you see the tabular column here, the Vevai, Sukshma, Gunas, everything is similar for all the acharyas. But when you go to the Anirdesha Rasa part, Anirdesha Rasa is told by which acharya? Like that, the small questions can be asked there. So Anirdesha Rasa is told by Charaka, and Avyakta Rasa is told by Ashtanga Hridaya, and Avyakta Rasa is told by Ashtanga Hridaya. So Avyakta. So I have to remember like Ashtanga Hridaya is Avyakta, or Ashtanga Hridaya was an Avyakta man, or he was not visible, something like that you can remember. So Ashtanga Hridaya is called as Avyakta Rasa. Rasa. So Ashtanga Hridaya and Ashtanga Sangraha both have explained regarding Avyakta Rasa there. And Sharangadhara has explained regarding Madavahitwa property. Madavahitwa property has been explained. And when you see the qualities of Sharangadhara, these qualities are entirely different from the Brihatrays. So it is called as Agneya, Chedi, Sukshma, Vevai. These are very much disorganized part which is mentioned there. So Sukshma, Chedi, Madavahi, Yogavahi, like that you can remember a quotation there. So you can remember like yoga. The person has done, you can remember the person as Agneya, Chedi, Sukshma, Vevai. So you can remember as Savi, like that, S-A-V. So Savi has done S-A-V, Sukshma, Agneya and the Vevai, these three parts, Sukshma, Agneya and Vevai. So they had done the yoga, and after the yoga, what happened? They had the Chedana effect or the Medas cutting down effect, that is called as regarding Chedi aspect. And after that yoga, their Meda reduced. That Meda is reduced, you can consider it as Madavaha. And how they led a beautiful life, that is called as Jividahara. So you can remember like S-A-V. There are two V for Sav. So Sav, what he did? Sav did yoga, and after the yoga, Chedana of Medas happened, and because of that, he led a beautiful life. That is called as Jividahara. Understood the code for Sharangadhara? Dr. Asia, you have understood the code, I hope. So you can understand like Sir, Savi, like that you can remember. Sir, when you correlate, it is Sharangadhara Sar. So Sharangadhara Sir has done the yoga, and thereby Jividahara property was explained. So what are the gunas which are explained by Acharyas? So it is Charaka, Shushruta, Ashtanga Hridaya, Ashtanga Sangraha, and Sharangadhara has two. So whenever the gunas, when we are correlating, these are the repeated questions which can be asked there. So Ashtanga Hridaya has explained like the 11 gunas has been explained, and Charaka and Shushruta 10, like that. So you have to remember whenever the Visha is coming, Charaka and Shushruta, they used to make a sound, that is 10, like that. There is a famous Britannica ad, no? 10, the Britannia ad which was coming in between. So you have to remember like Charaka and Shushruta, whenever the Visha came, they used to tell 10. Then Ashtanga Sangraha, it is told as 10 also. So you have to remember the Charaka, Shushruta and Ashtanga Sangraha always tells, like you can remember it as CAS. So CAS people, whenever the Visha used to come, they used to tell 10. Then Ashtanga Hridaya, it is told as 11 gunas. So maximum it is told by Ashtanga Hridaya. You see, whenever we are coming from the first part, Ashtanga Hridaya always stands apart, and also Sharangadhara in places of Vishaguna, but Ashtanga Hridaya always stands apart compared to Charaka and Shushruta. Almost Charaka and Shushruda's viewpoint are almost the same there. When it is coming to Sharangadhara, it is 8 types there. And the Vishaguna and action which is mentioned, the Ruksha, it is Vata Vardhana there. The Ruksha is for Vata Vardhana. So you have to remember like Ruva, like that you have to remember. Ruva. So Ru means it is Vataja, Vata Vardhana. So Ruva you have to remember. When it is Ushna, it is Pitta and Rakta Vardhana. So here you have to remember like here there is no need of code, because whenever the Ushna is coming, there is Pitta and Rakta Vardhana is there. Then the other one is the Anirdeshi Rasa, where it is Kapha Vardhana and Anna Rasam Anuvartande, it is told there. The Kapha Vardhana and Anna Rasam Anuvartande, it is told for the Anirdesha Rasa. For the Tikshna, it is Matimoha and Chinnati Barma Bandha. So this maybe you have difficulty, and this question was asked I think few times. Matimoha and Chinnati Barma Bandha is told for which guna, like that it can be asked. Matimoha and Chinnati Marma Bandha. So you can remember like when the Tikshnata of the body comes, there will be when something Tikshna is coming, we become unconscious. That is the moha part. And the Chinati Marma Bandha is also asked there. The Chinati Marma Bandha, that is for the Tikshna. When we are coming to the Sukshma, the entering the body speedily, that the Rakta Kopa is there. That is not so important. You have to remember this part. This Tikshna part, it can be asked sometimes. What is which guna of the Visha can lead to Matimoha and the Chinati Marma Bandha. The Matimoha and the Chinati Marma Bandha is told for the Tikshna guna there. Anirudesha rasa, of course, rasa means there is kaphavardhana, like that you can remember. And rasa means you can remember annarasa. So there is no need of the code there. When it is coming to the Vevayi guna, it is Pragratim Hanti, Ashu and spreading fast, like that it is mentioned. So Vevayi is Pragratim Hanti, Ashu and spreading fast is the qualities which is given for the Vevayi guna there. And the Vikasi is told as Dosha Dhatu Malakshaya and the Pranakna is explained there for the Vikasi part. And coming for the Avyakta, it is Kapha Pragopa, and for the Lagu, it is called as Dushchikilsya, which is told there. So Lagu is Dushchikilsya, and Vishada means it is like down sticking part. So this part was asked once, the question was asked regarding the Lagu Guna. So Lagu Guna, you can underline there. Lagu Guna was asked once. So it was the question like, due to which guna Visha is Dushchikilsya? Like that the question was asked. So Lagutva, because of the Lagutva, Visha is Dushchikilsya. Like that you can remember. These are the classification which we have already considered. And this is all about the Vishakriya. Like the Rakta, Vata, Pitta and Kapha is explained there. This is the part which is done for the Vishakriya part there. I hope it is clear. Is it clear, Dr. Azia? And everyone, are you clear about it? Any doubt? Okay, fine. Next, we go to the Garavisha and Dushivisha and the Vishavega part, which can be asked there. So first, we will go to the okay. Next part, which can be asked. Okay. The next part is regarding the Stavara, like that one question was there regarding the Dhatu Visha. How many Dhatu Vishas are there? That once time the quotation was asked there. And Dhatu Vishas are total 7 in number, and Upadhatu Vishas are also total 7 in number. And Rasatharangini, it is 2 in number. That is called as the Stavara and the Jangama. And Stavara, there is Visha and Upavisha classification there. And Visha Utpatti, that is called as Brahma Kopa Kaidaba Samhara. Like that part is mentioned by regarding Visha Utpatti, regarding Sushruta's part. When it is coming to the Visha Purusha Lakshana, it is called as Purusho Gora Darshanam Deepta Teja, Jaturdamsha, that is all finished. Then one quotation or one shloka which is explained for Charaka Chikitsa 23rd chapter is regarding Visha and its particularities. Visha and its particularities is like Tad Ambu Sambhavam, Tasmat Dividam, Pava Kopamam, like that it is mentioned there. And Ashtavegam, Dashugunam, Chaturvimshati Upakramam. So whenever the Visha is explained by Charaka, it is told like Ambu Sambhava, like it is originating from the water, and it is told as Tasmat Dividam, like 2 types, and Pava Kopamam, like that is mentioned. Just why I have explained this part is that sometimes the question can be asked like Ambu Sambhava, Pava Kopama, Ashtavegam, Dashagunam. It is told in which context. So whenever you aim at as Ashtavega is always for the Visha only. And Dashaguna is also the guna which is explained by the Charaka and also regarding Shushruta. So Dashaguna, Ashtavega, whenever you see, you have to click. It is Visha there. And Ambu Sambhava means, Ambu Sambhava, maybe if you have not read this part, you may get confused because Ambu Sambhava can come in different varieties there. So Ambu Sambhava, it is explained for Charaka Chikitsa, 23rd chapter there. Ambu Sambhava, and also regarding Chaturvimshati Upakrama. The 24 Upakramas are very rare, or sorry, very unique for Visha part there. Then Visha, Ambu Yoni and Pavakopama, which is mentioned. And another part is regarding the Visha Gudatva form, that is all. And which Ritu it can be having the effect. So in Sharat Ritu, the Visha will have the Kshaya or Mandavirya. Which Ritu is going on now? Dr. Asya, this which Ritu? Which Ritu? It is the Sharat Ritu, okay? This Sharat Ritu is having the Visha Mandatva Avastha, like that. So that's why when you do a mild purgation in this season, maybe it will have good effect on the diseases which you are going through. That is why the disease aspect which is told as Sharat Ritu's importance is given. So, and the other one is regarding the Grishma Ritu. In the Grishma Ritu and in the Varsha Ritu, the Vishas properties or Visha's things will increase. So you have to remember the Grishma and also the Varsha Ritu, and Sharat Ritu, the Mandada is there. So this can be one of the areas where the question can be asked there. Then is regarding the Stavara Visha Adhishtana part is mentioned there. So it is Shushruta, there is 10 type of Shushruta, Stavara Visha Adhishtana, and the Kanda is told as total 13 number, Phala is 12 in number, Mula is 18 number, and Sara is 7 in number, Niryasa and Tok. So here you have to remember like, okay. Okay. So here you have to remember like S and T. S and T, it is told there. So S and T is 7 in number. So this you have to remember. So Sara, Niryasa and Twak in total 7 in number. Then there is no 7. The other one is regarding Pushpa and Patra. That is 5 in number. The Pushpa and Patra is total 5 in number. And it is Kshira, it is 3 in number. The Kshira is 3 in number. So you have to remember like K3 group like that, PP5 or PP was taken by PP5 medicine or PP5 medicine SNT7, or you can remember like as any kind of trust that is called as SNT trust or SN trust, something like that. When you tell it is SNT is total 7 in number there. Then the other one is regarding SNT after that. Then we have the Ashtanga Hridaya part. Whenever we are explaining regarding the Ashtanga Hridaya, there is only one Stavara Visha Adhishtana which is told. So this can be asked sometimes. Is only one told by which Acharya? So Stavara Visha Adhishtana is only one is told by Ashtanga Hridaya there. So Ashtanga Hridaya, that is called as the Kandasthana, which is have the Charaka. Charaka has also told there is only one sthana, and Charaka it is told as Moola sthana, which is explained. So Charaka it is the, so you have to take like Ashtanga Hridaya Khanda. Ashtanga Hridaya Khanda. Khanda means the shoulder. In Hindi, Khanda is called as the shoulder. So Ashtanga have to keep the Ashtanga Hridaya in the shoulder there. When Charaka, you have to think like Charaka has to be kept in the Moola part or the corner. So the Charaka Samhita has to be kept in the corner and the Ashtanga Hridaya has to be kept in the Kanda region. Like that, when you remember, you will get the Moola and also the Kanda part, which is told for Ashtanga Hridaya part there. Okay, then we come to the Stavara Visha Adhishtana and the Lakshana part. So Kanda, it is 13. You will get there one. Kanda 13. And Phala is total 12 in number. So Phala, you can remember like you when you go to the fruit market, you always take the fruits in dozen. 1 dozen of fruits like that you have to remember. 1 dozen is total 12 in number. So Phala is total 12 in number. Then the Moola is total 8 in number. Moola is total 8 in number. So Moola means the corners. So whenever the corners are kept there, the corners have in the shape of 8. Okay, the corners of the room is in the shape of 8. Like that you have to remember. So the corner you will get as 8. And SNT is total 7 in number. I hope it is clear. Any doubt in this part? Okay. So we will go to the next part regarding the Garavisha and the Dushi Visha aspects there. Okay. So here, I will tell once again the important areas. Then we will go to the most important areas. So this shloka can be asked once, like you know the poison when it is administered, whatever it is, small quantities, it is called as the Garavisha aspects there. So it is Garavisham and Kalantara Vipakitvat. This quotation can be asked because you can be asked Kalantara Vipakitvat is told for which Visha. So Kalantara Vipakitva is told for the Garavisha aspect which is explained there. That is not so important. That is a poison from excreta of animals, it is told. That is a shloka which is Okay. Then coming to the Garavisha and the Dushi Visha aspects there. So here we have the Nana Pranyangamsha Malaviridha Aushadhi Basmanam, like that it is told there. And other than that one, we have regarding the Nana Pranyangamsha. 1 minute, okay. Okay. Then the next part, the next important shloka is regarding the Garavisha aspects. So Garavisha, this quotation part, the first part you have to remember, that is called as Saubhagyartam Striyaha. So Saubhagyartam Striyaha is explained for which Visha it can be asked. Which Visha is telling like Saubhagyartam Vishaha, like that it can be asked there. So here, Saubhagyartam Vishaha, one part. Then the other one is regarding the Garasam, the Kalantara Vipakitvat is told for which one. That and all are the important areas there. Then when we are coming to the Sharirika Lakshana of the Garavisha, these are the important Lakshanas. You just feel or remember the things like Sadada Atmana, Shushka Padagara. So Sadada Atmana and the Shushka Padagara is told for which symptoms of Garavisha. It can be asked like that. Sadada Atmana and Shushka Padagara is told for which Sharirika Lakshana it can be asked. So we have to remember that is Sadada Atmana and Shushka Padagara. Then the Manasika Lakshana is told there. So these are the sometimes the dreams part which is mentioned. This also was asked once in the quotation. Vyala, Vanara and Nakula and the Marjara. So whenever the person is seeing the dreams, in his dreams, the Marjara, Nakula, Vyala and the Vanara, at the time, he will have the Garavisha Lakshana, like that it is told. Then the dream of dried trees, like you have to remember, you are seeing a forest-like region or a desert region, okay? In the cases of Garavisha, you are seeing a desert region there. So here, in the cases of desert, it is dried trees and plants there. And whatever animal, and you have to remember in your mind, like a desert with dried plants, and you see the cats, jackals, mongoose, and the monkeys, or the Marjara, Nakula, Vyala, and the Vanara I see. So that picture you have to keep in the cases of Garavisha part. Then you have the complexion of the person. The complexion is like Krishna Matmanam Gauram cha Kalakaha. So this part can be also asked in the question part. Krishna Matmanam Gauram cha Kalakaha. Like whenever the person is fair also, he thinks like he is black, or whenever the person is black, he thinks like it is vice versa. It is also coming in one of the Arishta Lakshana in Charaka, in Triyasthana. The same, almost similar is coming here for the Garavisha, the dreams part here. And you have the Vikarna Nasa Nayana. This also was asked in one time for the question. The Vikarna Nasa Nayana is told for which Visha part it can be asked. So Vikarna Nasa Nayana is told for eyes, ears, nose, eyes, and also the rough and distorted region. And the doubtful, the Garavisha is there. You can ask a person regarding whatever dreams he is seeing there. So these are the cases which can be used for the Garavisha there. So Nili Patra and all is mentioned here. And the Nidana Parivarjana is there. Hema Prashana and Agada Pana, Virejana, Bilvadi Kutika. These are the part which is mentioned there. And we have the Dushi Visha. Next important thing is regarding the Dushi Vishas there. So here the Dushi Visha aspects, mainly the quotation can be asked like Stavara, Jangama and Kritrima, that becomes less potent due to the treatment and it cannot be eliminated, like that part. It's mentioned for the Stavara Visha part. Next, in this one, this quotation can be asked, like Dushidam Desha Kalana. In that Dushita, they will tell us dash dash Desha Kalana Divasupner Abhikshnasha. So the quotation can be asked like that. Then at the time you have to remember, yeah, Desha Kala, it is starting with D. D means it is Dushi Visha. Like that you have to remember the quotation. Now don't go for by hearting the shlokas. You have to remember like Desha Kalana Divasupner Abhikshnasha. You can remember there. Then the Pragopa Kala, what is mentioned there, it is called as Pragvada, Ajirna, Shitabra, Divasupna, Ahitashana, it is told there. Dushtam Dushayede Dhatu, this and all explained here. So it is Pragvada, Divasupna, Ajirna, Ahitashana, which is told there. The Pura Rupa part which is mentioned, like this Nidra Gurutva, Vijrambana, Vishlesha Harsha. So Nidra Gurutum cha Vijrambana is told for which Pura Rupa, like that question. There are two important parts where the Pura Rupa is important. One is the Jwara, whenever you have already told regarding the Jwara in the KC classes. So the Jwara Pura Rupa is important, Rakta Pitta Pura Rupa, and regarding the Dushi Visha Pura Rupa is also very important. These are the Pura Rupa questions which are repeatedly asked there. So you have the Rupa and the Lakshana part, like what are the Lakshanas, like Vishanno Bhavecha, Dushodara Lingajishtaha, like in that part can be asked. So Dushodara Lingajishtaha, Dushodara is explained for which Visha, like that once the question was asked. So Dushodara is for Dushodara, Dushi Visha, like that you can remember here. Then we have the Dushi Visha. If it is an Amashya, what will be the diseases which is happening? And if it is in Pittashya, what will be the diseases which is happening? This also was asked once. So Amashya, it is with the diseases of Kapha and Vata there. So you have to remember in Amashya, it is Kapha is present there. So Amashya, it is Kapha and Vata which is present. And for the Pittashya, Pittashya means of course the Pitta is there. Like that you have to remember. So Pittashya, it is PV. So whenever the Pittashya is coming, you have to do the PV, Parvaginal examination. Like that you have to remember. In Amashya, it is Kapha and Vata there. And in the Dhatus, it is Dhatu Pradoshya Vikara, which is told. Then coming to the Sadhya Sadhyata. This is also this was also asked once. When the Dushi Visha is more than a year, it is Yapya. It is Yapya, and together with that one, if it is an emaciated person or a person with unsuitable food and activities, then it is called as the Asadhya condition, like that it is mentioned here. Then the Ubadrava, this also can be asked. Sometimes the question is asked like Anaha Shukra Sanshaya is told for which Visha, like that the quotation can be asked. Anaha and Shukra Sanshaya is told for the Dushi Visha Ubadrava part which is mentioned, the Shofa, Adisara, Morcha part. Then the Dushi Visha on the body. What are the things which is mentioned for Dushi Visha on the body? Dushi Visha will have different type of clinical symptoms like Annamada, Arochaka, Mandala, Kota, Mohan, Dhatukshaya, which is explained here. So you have the Jirna Visha, the partly metabolized part which is mentioned there. So it is having acute ill effects and it is kept for long times, original properties, Vishapnanam, Abhihatam, inactivated by antitoxic drugs. These are the Dushi Visha which is mentioned by Shushruta part which is mentioned for the responsible part there. Then we have the Davagni, like this is having a correlation with the forest fire, like the Visha in the latent poisons. It is having, it is altered by the heat like that. And the exposure to the Vata, there the cold wind gets dried up, and the Tikshna and Dushi Visha, and the exposure to the Atapa, and naturally less potent, that is called as Sobhavato Guna Viparyanam, that is also told there. And the treatment, what are the treatment which can be done for the Dushi Visha? So of course you have to remember the Panchakarama aspect, that is the Snehana, Svedana, Vamana, and the Vireshana are the main important thing which is told here, and the Urdu and other Shodhana. Agadapana is mentioned in that one. Sometimes just to remember at least 2-3 main important ingredients of Dushi Visha, because a question can be asked, Pipalya, Dhyamaka, Mamsi. These are the combinations of which Agada Dravya, like that the quotation can be asked. And then it can be made into the water, vati, and consumed with the honey. These are the diseases which is produced due to Dushi Visha, that is called as a bioaccumulative poison, and the transdermal purification and the transmembranous visceral purification, it is being correlated there. And whenever you go to the Gwaravisha modern correlation, you can consider it as a lifestyle diseases, like that, lifestyle whatever is there. And the Garavisha, what are the food toxicity with the aspect of cosmetic and drugs. These are the important areas there. It's not so much important there. Then these are the some of the things which you can correlate, that is regarding the arsenic lesions. Okay, this part can be asked sometimes in the quotation. So here, okay, here there are the symptoms of arsenic poison. So this is sometimes a picture can be given and told like this is coming in which kind of poison. So it is coming in arsenic poison, and arsenic poison, you can remember what are the tidbits of arsenic poison. So I'll tell you what are the things which is told for the arsenic poison. So arsenic poison, the symptoms are like you have a red velvet appearance of the stomach. So you have the red velvet appearance of the stomach. And there is Blackfoot disease, which is mentioned for arsenic person. So the red velvet and the Blackfoot disease is there. The red velvet and the Blackfoot disease is mentioned. Then the other one after the Blackfoot disease, it is called as raindrop pigmentation, which is mentioned there. Raindrop pigmentation. And you have the first one is called as the Mace line. So the Mace line is told for which poison, the Bertonian line is told for which poison. Like that is the main repeated questions in Agada Tantra here. So the Mace line is there, the raindrop pigmentation here, and after the raindrop pigmentation, we have the cholera poison because it is differentiated with the cholera poison there. So you have to remember in this way, like Miss Arsenic. Worn a red velvet dress. You have to remember a lady in red velvet dress with a black heels, That is called as a Blackfoot disease. And while the time she was going for a date, suddenly the rain came. So suddenly the rain came, and then afterwards she went to a hotel, and in the hotel, she ate garlic naan. So garlic naan is like the garlic smell of the breath that is coming in the cases of arsenic poison there. So you can remember like the garlic smell means the garlic naan. That lady ate the garlic naan. And afterwards, what she got automatically when you eat something from outside, you can get the cholera or the food poisoning there. Ultimately, she got the cholera food poisoning. So these are the part which is mentioned. The Miss Arsenic wore a red velvet dress, and she wore a black heels type of slippers, and then when she went outside there was drain there, and after that she went to a hotel. In the hotel she ate the garlic naan, that is called as a garlic bread, and after that she got the cholera. This is about the arsenic poison which is mentioned. And the other areas where the arsenic can be asked is like, which is the ideal homicidal poison. So the ideal homicidal poison is arsenic. Okay. Ideal homicidal is arsenic. Ideal suicidal is regarding the cyanide poisoning is mentioned there. So ideal homicidal is regarding the arsenic poison which is mentioned there. Okay. So these are the important areas where it can be asked. Okay. Okay. Then the other one is regarding next quotation. We have the arsenic, it is finished. These are some of the endosulfan things which is responded, and Punjab Batinda issues, that and all. These are the main things which we can correlate for the arsenic poison there. Then we have regarding the Sarpavisha, some of the important part which is asked there is regarding the Sarpavisha part there. So Sarpas, we know, main important questions which is asked regarding the Sarpavisha is like the Bhumija Sarpa and regarding the Devaja Sarpa. These are the important areas where it can be asked there. So here, the Stavaravishya we have already covered what it is, and you can remember the Stavaravishya Adhisthana Lakshanas for some of the things like Mulavisha, Patravisha, what and all is explained. For the Mulavisha, is it Pralapa and Moha is explained. Then the Dhatuvisha, the Hritpida and Murcha is there. So that you can correlate. The Mulavisha, so the Dhatuvisha is having the symptoms like Hritpida and the Murcha is explained there. Hritpida and Murcha is explained for Dhatuvisha, that is the quotation there. And Kandavisha is total 13 in number, Kanda. So over the Kanda, what you have to keep? Over the Kanda, you have to keep the Ashtanga Hridaya there. Then the Mulavisha is explained. So the Mulavisha is total 8 in number, and Patra and the Pushpavisha, it is total 5 in number there. Dhatuvisha, it is called as the Phenashma and Harita is mentioned there. The Jangamavisha Adhisthana is mentioned, like the Drishti, Nishwasa and all is mentioned there. Then the Vishaguna and Karma we have already mentioned there. The Stavaravishya Samani Lakshana was explained, like the Jwara, Hikka, Dandaharsha and Galagraha was explained. Then other question which is asked is regarding the Visha Prabhava. So Visha Prabhava is total 2 in number, and Visha is Sadhyo Marana Karana is because of Ojo Viparita. Because whenever you consider the Visha, Madhya and the Ojas, Madhya and the Visha is having the similar properties, and the Ojas is having the entirely different properties. That is why Ojas, Madhya and the Visha, whenever the Visha is taken or the Madhya is taken, automatically the Ojas goes down. So the person dies because of the Ojo Viparita Lakshana, which is told there. And Vadapitta Pradhana persons, the poison attacks fast. This also can be asked, like in which Prakriti person the poison gets attacked fast. It is in Vata Pitta person then. And Visha Samprapti is explained, like because of Rakta Dushti, then we are going to the Tridosha concept there. And Jirna Vishakna Ushadi, like that we are remember. So Dushi Visha, you have to just remember what it is. And the Dushi Visha Chikitsa also just remember. And Dushi Visha Agada also just remember. And Dushi Visha Sadhya Sadhana. These are the important areas where the questions can be asked. Then is regarding the Vishavega. So Vishavega, the number only there is difference of opinion. So Sushruta has explained regarding the Vishavegas are total 7 in number. Sushruta and Ashtanga Hridaya says the Vishavegas are total 7 in number. Charaka says the Vishavegas are total 8 in number. So the 8th Vishavega for the Charaka is Marana. So the 8th Vishavega is Marana. Then Visha, Vegandara. For the Visha, it is called as the Vegandara. And Medha, Koshta, Vadadi, Doshakopa is explained. Rasa, it is called as the Chardi and the Prasega, which is explained for the Rasadadu Dushti. And Vadadi Dosha, it is Yataso Upadrava is also explained there. We have the Vishavega and the Dhatu Dushti, which is explained for the Rakta, Mamsa, Vasa, Snayu, and all it is explained there. And Chatushpada. This 7 and the 8th Vishavega, it is told for the Vishavega. It is told for the Vishavega for Manushya or the human beings. Whenever we go to the Vishavega for the animals and the birds, it is 4 and 3 Vegas are explained for the Pashu and the Pakshi. The Pakshi is having 3 Vegas in total. So how you have to remember this, like the Pakshi's foot is like that. And you have 3 bifurcations for the Pakshi's foot. Whenever you have the stem part, you remember the bird's legs. The bird's legs is like this, and on mid top and on top and in the bottom part of it, there is 3 part which is ordered like this. So you have the stem here and you have the 3 things separated like this. So you have to remember the legs of the chicken or legs of the bird. So for the Pakshi, it is total 3 Vishavega, which is explained there. Then the Stavara Vishavega is explained there, like Stamba, Murcha, Trasa, Klama, Vami, and is also explained. The second Vishavega, it is called as the Tamaka is explained for the second Vishavega. And for the 7th Vishavega, it is Kanda, Prishta, Kadi, Bhagna, and all the symptoms. So in the 7th Vega, it is important is like Charaka has, so the Chikitsa aspect is mentioned regarding Avapida and the Snehapana, and the Kakapada is explained here. So the Kakapada is coming, so you have to remember like the Kaka comes at 7 o'clock. Kaka comes at 7 o'clock. So 7th Vishavega, it is coming there. So Avapida and Snehapana is mentioned there. The 6th Vishavega, it is the Adisara Chigilsa, Satnyastabana Aushada, and the Avapida Nasya is mentioned for the 6th Vishavega. And the 5th Vishavega is the Madhuka Kashaya with Madhu, which is explained there. Then Ajayagrida is explained. Koshatyakyadi Yavagu, Chandrode Gutika, and the Sanjeevani Agata is explained for other important parts. So Ajayagrida is explained for all the Vishavegas. Whenever you doubt any Vishavega, you can give the Ajayagrida as the promising medicine there. Ajayagrida as the promising medicine. Then regarding Vishadigdasra Vidya and Digda Vidya Lakshana is also explained that, like Pradamide Muhu Muhu, it is told for which Lakshana? Pradamide Muhur Muhur and Vivarna Bhavana, Vishadam Cha Ashu Gachadi. These are all the things which is mentioned for Vishadigdasra Vidya and Dagda Vidya Kriya, like which is mentioned. And the Chikilsa, if the Marma is not there, then Gruda, in the Gruda, Hrudayavarana can be done there. And the Gara Samyogaja Visha is there, like Prani Angamala, Viridaushada Basma, Alpavirya Aushada Samyoga, that and all is mentioned, and Kalandara Vibhagitva, Hanti Yoga Visheshena, like that it is mentioned for the Gara or the Samyogaja Visha there. And for the Chikilsa, it is Vamana and the Hridaya Shodhana is explained. And the Visha Sangada, Visha Prakriti Kalana, it is mentioned, Visha Prakriti Kalana is mentioned. And what is the Kala which is mentioned? It is the Varsha Kala, and side by side it is the Grishma Ritu. So you have to see for the options. If the Varsha Kala is there, you have to click the Varsha Kala, and the side by side in some textbooks it is explained regarding the Grishma Ritu also. And Anna, it is Sarshapadi. Whenever a person is having the Visha, you have to abstain from the Sarshapa like of medicaments. So Sarshapa should not be taken. And the dosha is Pitta. Of course, for the Visha, the dosha is the Pitta. And for the Dusha, it is the Rakta. Dusha, it is the Rakta. And the Visha Vruddhi Karanas are explained. One of the Karana which can be asked is regarding Vata and the Pitta. So Visha Vardhana. Vardhana means the fast. Fastness is coming for which dhatu? It is coming for the Vata dhatu. So Vata Pitta Vardhaka is Visha Vriddhi Karana. Like that you can remember here. And the Samani Visha Lakshana is Visha Chikilsa is explained. Like for the Kapha it is Vamana, and for the Pitta it is Ramsana. Like that things is asked. And the Sadhya Sadhya is explained. Like the Shleshmashya it is Atyanda Sadhya, and Pittashya it is Yatnat Sadhya, and Vatashya it is Sudusadhya or the Asadhya aspect which is mentioned there. Then there is one quotation which is told in Ashtanga Hridaya Uttara Tantra, Sarveshu Sarva Avasteshu Visheshu na Grutopamam. Visheshu na Grutopamam. Whatever may be the Visha and whatever may be the condition, in all the conditions, Grita can be given. Like that, the Ashtanga Hridaya quotation is there. And one part which can be asked from Ashtanga Sangraha is like, which Visha is similar to Mandali Tulya? So Haritala is similar to Mandali Tulya. So you have to remember, like, Hari is like Manda person, or Hari ate the Manda, Manda Peya Vilepi. So Hari ate the Manda, Manda Peya Vilepi. Like that you can remember that. Then Durdura Visha is explained. Durdura Visha is a Sarva Pashyadi Pidaka is explained. Koradosha, it is for the Kushmanda Prayoga. And Vadasthana Visha, that is Vada Kapha Vigara is explained here. And Pittasthana Visha, it is Pitta Kapha Vigara which is explained. And Kafasthana Visha, it is the Kapha Pitta Vigara which is mentioned there. And you have the explanation regarding the Mahavisha and the Upavisha is there. So first we will cover the Sarpa Visha part, and then we will go to the other part. So Sarpa, whenever we are dealing, there's a poisonous ducks and polyphodons, and these are the morphology of the venomous snakes which is present there. We have the venom glands and the fangs of the venomous snakes, and the venom canal and the venom, and the glands, ducts, and the fangs. These are all the biology class questions. That's why we are not dealing in detail with that way. We have the gland part that is called as the gland, where the emitting gland is called as Duvernay's gland. So you have to just remember what is the gland name which is present there. And these are the skeleton part which is present, and what is the peculiarity of the joints or peculiarity of the mouth part of the snake. The peculiarity is that it is very motile, or it is very flexible part. That is why it is engulfed. That is why it's called as most mobile jaw joint is for the snakes. That is why it can engulf an entire crocodile. And this is the upper, that's why it's the part which is mentioned. And this is the skin of snake and the molted skin. Molting means it is removing the outer part of the skin. Like, the skin sheds its skins, and that procedure is called as molting there. And this is the molting, snake scale or snake skin, and these are the snakes there. So here you have to remember what is the botanical names. Sorry, not the botanical name, what is the zoological names of it. So the Indian cobra and the other one is the Indian cobra, only you have to remember. Then common crate is the Bangaris carulens, Dabosi rasolis for the Russell's vapor. So scaled vapor is called as Echis carinatus. So the common crate you can remember like Bangaris carulens. So how you have to remember is that the crate, crying in the bungalow, like that you have to remember, crying in the bungalow. So crate means the Bangaris carulens. And you have the common crate and the crates of India. The so-scaled viper is there. And the Servisha and Nirvisha type of Bauma Sarpas are there. Servisha, it is Darvikara 26 in number. Mandali is 22. And Rajimanta is total 10 in number. And Vaikaranja is also 10 in number. So you have to remember like Darvikara. So Darvi matlab, Darvi means you can take it as on top of the cobra, you can write it as 26. So 26 on the Darvikara. Mandali is total 22 in number. So at the 22 years, your manda or your brain will get a faster evolution, like that you can remember. Or in mandala, like in the PJP mandala, there are 22 members, like that you can remember. In Rajimanta, it is total 10 in number, and the Vaikaranja is also total 10 in number. And these are the types of it. And there are two types, that is called as Divya and the Bhauma. The Divya, this can be question asked. What are the examples for Divya Sarpa? Divya Sarpa examples are Vasuki, Ananda, Nanda, Takshaka are the examples for it. And what are the peculiarities of it? The Bhauma Sarpa, it is Darvikara, Mandali, and the Rajimanta part. And these are the characteristic features of different varieties of snakes. That is, it is 26 in number for the Darvikara, and for the Mandali, it is 22 in number. And for Vaikaranja, Darvikara, Mandali, and Rajimanta. Rajimanta is total 10 in number. So Raji, Raji at 10 o'clock, or Raji is total 10 in number, or Raji comes at 10 o'clock, like that. The Jati Lakshana, it is coming is the Brahmana, Kshatriya, and like that. You have to remember the example of a Brahmin who is very Krodha part, that is called as Krodina or angry, and the Neela Kapila or the Shvetalohita Varna is explained. And Kshatriya, it is like the Raktaksha and Brishakovana part, and Jadi, Champaka, and Punnaga part, and the Vaishya Sarpa, it is the Gomedaka and Paravata and Vajra. For the Shudra Sarpa, it is Goduma, Mahisha, and the Gaja part which is mentioned. And the Purisha Sarpa and the Stri Sarpa can be asked. So the Purisha Sarpa is like Mahanetra, Mahajihva, Mahaasya, and the Mahashira with the big body size. And the Stri Sarpa, it is Sukshma. So you have to remember, like the bigger anatomical body is for the Purisha, and the smaller anatomical body, all Sukshma, is for the Stri Sarpa. So whenever the question is asked, like which is Sukshma, Sukshma is Stri. Stri is the Sukshma part. Then which masa generally the origin of the snakes can be happening? It is in the Jeshta, Ashada, and the Kartika masa. And the seven, which this can be also asked. After how many days the poisonous apps or poisonous apparatus develop for the snakes. So seventh day after the birth, it will develop. And the left lower fang, it is white in color, and the left upper fang is yellow in color. And this is the Ayu Rutu Prabhava, which is mentioned, like Taruna and the Vrishti, Madhya and Shita, Vruddhatva and Atapa, and the Ritu Sandhi part. So this can be asked like in Ritu Sandhi, which is poisonous. So in Ritu Sandhi, the Ventara is poisonous. Ventara is poisonous there. And the Linga Prabhava, it is Napunsaka snakes, and the snakes which are dwelling in the burial ground, anthills, and the temples, that is the Linga Prabhava, which is mentioned. And snakes which are Visha, Visha Harasana, how the Vishas poisons will reduce that. Like whenever the Visha gets drenched in water, the frightened and the defeated by the mongoose, and it is suffering from any kind of diseases, hunger, thirst, and fatigue, then also this condition will be happening. And soon after coming from other region, the snake will be roaming, and the forest full of medicinal plants, and the cultivated field with thorny areas, which will be having little quantities of poison there. And this is the Damsha Karana. This also can be asked sometimes. Aharartha, Bhayartha. Aharartha, Bhayartha is dash lakshanas of snakes. Sarpa, like that the question can be asked. That part you have to just remember the shloka part. And this is a Sarpadesh Damsha Veda. This also can be asked. Like Sushruta, there are how many Sarpadamsha Veda? For Sushruta, there are three types of Sarpadamsha Veda: Sarpida, Rudita, Nirvisha, and Sarpanga Bheda. That is the non-poisonous part. So deep, superficial, and the non-poisonous part. And according to Vagbeta, it is total 5 types, which is mentioned. That is the Tundahada, Vyalida, Vyalupta, Damstraka, and the Damstra Nipidita part, it is mentioned. So you have to remember like TVV, like that you have to remember. So in that one, Tundahada, there is no Damsha. So in Rasa Shastra, mainly one question was repeatedly asked, in Swarnavanga, what will be the proportion of Swarna which is present? Like that, here for the Agatantra, the question can be asked like, in Tundahada, how many bite marks are there? In Tundahada, there is no bite marks. It is actually, the snake is just licking and going away. And these are the bite marks. So Sarpita, it is 2 bite marks. So you have to remember like, the snake is having the fangs. It is divided in 2 parts. So there is 2 fang marks. And Rudita, it is superficial part, area of the bright. And Sarpanga Abheda is like, whenever we are walking in the darkness, whenever we just step on a rope, we think it is a snake. That is called a Sarpanga Abheda. And the person gets frightened. And these are the bite marks which is present there. Vyalida, it is having 1 or 2 tooth mark. And Vyalupta is for the 2 bite mark which is present there. And Dashtaka, it is total 3 bite marks. So you have to remember like D. D is D3, like that you have to remember. D, T, and V, it is 2 part. And Damshta Nipirida, it is 4 mark of the teeth. And Savisha Damsha is mentioned, like the snake bite is having the poison, which is accompanied with the swelling part, which is mentioned. And the Darvikara, Sarpadamsha Lakshana is there, like the Shita Jvara, Sandhirucha, Nidra Nasha, and the Vinjramba part, which is mentioned there. And Mritaseva Visatnyada, it is told for which Lakshana, it can be asked. Mritaseva Visatnyada is mentioned for Darvikara Sarpadamsha Lakshana. And we have the Mandali Damsha Lakshana, it is the Vakta Dandra Pitada and Osha Kleda Koda Vishiryate is explained. And you have also the Dhumaka. Dhumaka and Shitecha is explained for which. So here the Mandali is the Pitta Visha. So you have to remember like Mandali. Lee means the Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was a Pitta person, like that. That's why he used to fight a lot. And the Snigdha, Stira, Pichila, Shofa at the site region is there. And Vendra Damsha Lakshana, it is a male, female, and the Napunsaka and the aged snake was there. And the Pratama, the Darvikara Sarpa is there, and the Shava Vaktra, Sarpandivacha Kidaga. This is one of the part which is always asked. Sarpandivacha Kidaga, that is the feeling of insect crawling on the body. And Dutiye Grantheo, that is the enlarged glands are present. And Trudiye Murdha Gauravam and Drigdroda, loss of vision is there. Damsha Vikledana, it is moistness at the site of bite. And Panchame Parva Vedana, like this also can be asked there. Panchame Parva Vedana. So punch like Parva. So punch to Parvati. Parvati is punched there, like that you have to remember. Prape Shukrantu Saptame. And Skanda Prishta Kadibagna. This also can be asked. Skanda Prishta Kadibagna. These important things you can just underline what it is. Then the Mandali Sarpa Vishavega is there. Dutiye Shvedudbhava, Tridiye Damshaplutoda. Just Panjame Daha Sarva Gatrana. That can be asked sometimes. Then Rajimanta Vishavega, it is Tritiye Damshavikledana. And Panjame Vaksanga is there. And Sitasyaksha. These are just more Morchana Shitochasa can be asked. That was just you can keep that one. And there's the Shita Chikilsa, which is done the Vishavelli, and Adishta Banjana, Damsha Nirharana. This can be asked. Sindhu Varaga, Himavan Agada, Kanda type of snake. And what are the Chikilsa which is explained here? What are the Chikilsa aspect which is mentioned? So the Darvigara Mandali and the Rajimanta, it is first is the Raktamokshana, and the Raktamokshana with Alabu can be asked. So Alabu, Rajimanta is Kapha type of snake. So Kapha means it is called as Alabu. Raktamokshana should be done with Alabu. And Mandali it is Pitta. That is why Grita is explained. And Darvikara it is just Madhu Grita Pana which is mentioned. And another one is regarding the Vamana and the Yavagupana. This part you see, no? The Vamana and the Yavagupana is told for the Mandali Visha in the third Vishavega is explained. These are the important areas where you have to underline. Then the fifth Pradivisha, it is explained regarding the Pradivisha. The Pradivisha should be administered in between the fifth and seventh Vishavega, it is told there. And there is Dhatugata Vishachikilsa is there. Rakta, Mamsa, Godaya, Shushkam, which is explained. And we have the Mamsa Gade, Punasakshodram, Kadirashtikotacham, Moolam Ambasa, Sarveshwapi Balayukmam, Madhukam, Madanam Nada, and the Garuda Anjana, Tarsha Agada, Lodradi Agada, and the Mahanagada and Arshapagada. And the poisonous and the non-poisonous snakes are there, like the King Kuruba and the rat snake, and upon the location what it is. So here you have to remember only one thing regarding the cobra is which type of snake. The cobra and the trait are the neurotoxic, and viper, the viper variety is hemotopic. Hemotoxic you have to remember. So viper means always you have to remember the car's viper. So car's viper. So car is whose Hema's car viper, like that you have to remember. Hema's car viper. So in the car there is viper there. Then you have the poisonous and the non-poisonous snakes. The head is triangular in shape and round shape. And in the physical features, it is stout and the dull color with slender and bright colored non-poisonous snakes. And the habit, it is nocturnal conditions. And these are the identification features of venomous and the non-venomous snakes, like the triangle shaped head and the rounded head, which is present. And we have the common poisonous snakes. These in that one, just the hoodie appearance who is having, hood which is not having. Just a Russell viper is having the V mark type of disintegration. And this is the crate part. So the crate part, we have the paired white bands there. Then the pit viper is there. Pit viper, it is hemotoxic, and the renal failure and enworming is there. The Russell's viper, it is hemotoxic venom, and the scale or the carpet vipers, and the snake bite is local symptoms within 6 to 8 minutes it will be starting there, and there will be small reddish wheal which will be developing at the site of bite there. And in half to 1 hour there is increased salivation and the vomiting is there. In 2 hours there will be complete paralysis and the respiration will be slowing down. Just ptosis is coming for which one, that you have to just mention. That is what it is, just underlined there. The ptosis is for the crate bite there, and the viper there is local necrosis and the gum bleeding and the hemoptysis is there. These are the conditions which is mentioned. The sea snakes and the venom, how it is. Just the venom, what is the fatal dose of cobra, crate, and all you have to just remember. So cobra, it is 12 to 15 mg, and the crate, it is 6 mg. So K6, like that you can remember that. And the fatal period, it is half to 24 hour, and viper is 1 to 4 hour, and crate is 1 to 6 hour. These are the first aid part, quick right, which is mentioned, and this is the rapid immunization. And what are the investigation laboratory part which can be done for the snakes part? So very important is regarding the whole blood, like regarding the TC and BC, like the blood clotting time is very important here. And the antivenom treatment, and whatever the antivenom, the doses can be explained. For the common crate, it is 100 ml, and the Russell vapor, it is 100 ml, which is explained there. And we have the repeated doses of anti-snake venom. For the neurotoxic, at least 20 vials are needed, and hemotoxic, it is about every 6 hours it should be introduced there. And we have the treatment of the bitten part and the supportive treatment, and the autopsy finding is that you have the throat and the mouth and the nostril. This is the part which is mentioned for the toxin part. Okay. Understood up to this? Any doubt, Dr. Asiya? Okay. Now we are moving to the forensic aspect. Okay. So in the forensic aspect, forensic medicine and the role of forensic surgeon, that part. So here we have the main important breakthroughs or the changes which has happened in the recent years is that the IPC has been changed into Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. So BNS, you can remember the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, it is changed in the IPC. CRPC has changed into Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita Siddhanta, BNSS, and the Indian Evidence Act is also changed there. So this is the Indian legal system, and the Indian Penal Code, it is 1860. So the IPC is 1860. So here the 1973 Criminal Procedure Code is being changed there. And you have the Code of Civil Procedure, that is 1908, and the offenses are cognizable and non-cognizable and the bailable offenses. The cognizable means like we can arrest, that is the rape, murder, and the dowry death. This can be asked, which is a this circumstance can happen. This is a cognizable offense or a non-cognizable offense. The cognizable offense you can arrest, that is for the example for the rape, murder, or the dowry death or the ragging cases. Non-cognizable means the police cannot arrest a person without warrant. That is for the example like the murder, attempted to murder, and dowry related deaths. That for that one, that this one is needed. And the punishment, what it is, the solitary confinement is there. And we have the legal procedures in India, like the inquest part. There are 3 types of inquest. There is a coroner, medical examiner's system, and the procuratorial fiscal system is also there. And this is the 174 CRPC. Just remember the police inquest is coming under the 174 CRPC. And the Panchnama means the FIR report which is mentioned there. And these are the indications for police inquest, in which all conditions the police inquest can be done, like the industrial accident, suicidal, abortion, these all conditions. And this is about the magistrate inquest. And magistrate inquest, how you can remember is that there are D4PE. There are 4 P's in magistrate inquest. One is prison, police custody, psychiatric hospital, and police firing. There are 4 P has come. There is 1 D. 1 D is regarding dowry death. And there is 1 E, that is exhumation. So you have to remember like D4PE. D4PE, like that you can remember for the magistrate inquest. And you have the other types of inquest, like the medical examiner system. In the most of the states of USA, a medical person is appointed to hold an inquest, and the other coroner's inquest, which is done in generally in the UK and other states of USA. You have the Supreme Court, High Court and the Sessions Court, and the Chief Judicial Magistrate with the Chief Metropolitan Magistrate. And the courts we have in Section 6 to 25 CRPC, the criminal and civil part, and the Chief Judicial Magistrate is for the 7 years, and the fine will be unlimited. And the first class judicial magistrate, the imprisonment can give up to 3 years and the fine of about 10,000. And there is juvenile justice board below 18 years part, and the medical evidence is there. What are the evidences? And here you have the oral evidence. The oral evidence is explained in Section 60 of Indian Evidence Act there. And the medical certificates there is by RMP in the course of treatment, which is mentioned. And you have the medical legal reports, that is the first part and the second part and third part. And there is dying declaration and dying deposition is there. There are two things, the technical term which will be asked. Corpus delicti. Corpus delicti means the body of offense. You have seen the Drishyam movie, no? So the body was never recovered. That is because the corpus delicti is explained. Compos mentis means the person is conscious and oriented. That is called as the compos mentis. The signs and actions should be recorded there. And the dying deposition means the statement of a person which is made under the oath. It is called as the dying deposition, and which is superior. Like that, the question can be asked. Actually, the dying declaration is much superior to the dying deposition there. And you have the differences. This is recorded by the magistrate. Sometimes, whichever available, the dying declaration and the dying deposition. Depo is always recorded by the magistrate. This part. And in which part the cross-examination is allowed? In dying deposition. In the depo, the cross-examination. You have to remember depo means the department. So in department, the cross-examination is happening. You have the examination of witness in court, and these are the summons to witness and section 170, 169, which is explained. And in court, what is the opposite priority and what is the recording of evidence in a court, which is. And there are two parts which is explained for the witness. Witness, it is common witness and the expert witness, which is told. Common witness, that is the facts and all. Then the other one is regarding hostile witness. And anyone who has told the falseness in the court, that is called as the hostile witness. Then the perjury. Perjury is 193. How you can remember the perjury is, right? Perjury means after taking the oath, one does or says like, I have not seen the case, or I have not seen, I have not heard anything. That is called as perjury. So how perjury you can correlate this? 193. 9 means you can correlate as no. And 3 means I know none. None means the one. 191 IPC is so that I know none. So none means the one also. And the witness box, how it is, the punctuality should be there. These are the important part which is mentioned for the medical ethics part. I hope it is clear here. You have also the Consumer Protection Act, one part is there. In the Consumer Protection Act, the new change is that the Consumer Protection Act was in another year, and now it has changed to the Consumer Protection Law. That is one part. Changed part of the Consumer Protection. There is the Consumer Protection Act was changed to law in 2019 there. So it is Consumer Protection Act is in 1986 and the Consumer Protection Law came down in 2019 there. So there is 1986 and 2019 and the e-commerce and the states, what is done there. And the complainant and the consumer part which is mentioned, and the consumer protection and the consumer ignorance, these are the part. And there are 6 things which is mentioned for the rights of the consumers, like the right to safety, right to choose, right to information, that is all mentioned there, and the right to consumer education, which is mentioned here for that one. And you have another thing that is regarding the duty of the doctors is one of the areas which can be asked there. So, this is the part which can be asked. Here we have the ethical dilemmas, and the health of the patient is first consideration, and the medical negligence and the consent and the duty in emergency, duty in ward, duty in emergency necessary, and the medical reports and certificates, the drug and chemical poisoning, the gunshot and stab wounds, unnatural death. These are the important areas. So the medical legal aspects is that the respect to the body and the conduct should be taken. And before taking the dead body, the signature should be done. And the dying deposition, which we have already discussed there. And what is the consent? Sometimes a question can be asked like, what is the consenting age? Usually the 12 years and above is the consenting age. If before the 12 years, parents will be the signing authorities. And for the sexual intercourse, it will be always 18 years, not the 16 years, it will be the 18 years. The requirement of the consent and the organ transplantation and the suspected cases of poison, which is asked there. And there is tort law. Tort law is a civil wrong. One person has committed the crime against the other person. And there is negligence, that is specific elements of negligence. And the civil negligence part is there, error of judgment or diagnosis, and the criminal negligence, and the examples of the criminal negligence, and the postmortem examination and medical legal postmortem examination, which is explained, and the legal problems which is faced by the doctors, and the law of the contract, which is mentioned there. And here you have the Drug Act, Nursing Act, and the Health Act, which is mentioned there. And these are the main important part which is mentioned here. And some of the areas where you have to give importance is regarding some of the areas where the question can be asked. Okay. One minute. I'll tell you the important areas. You have to take regarding the importance of. Okay, you have to take the importance of corpus delicti, what it is, corpus mentis, what it is. These are the important areas where the questions can be asked. So the corpus delicti and the corpus mentis are one of the areas. Body of offense, what it is, and how the discovery of forensic medicine and toxicology was represented. That are all the important areas where the question can be asked there. Then the other area is regarding the forensic aspects. Sometimes a question can be asked there. So here you have the main metallic poisons and non-metallic poisons can be asked there as a questions there. Also the identification parameters, we have the male and the female parameters, that also you can just correlate. Sometimes a question can be asked, and some of the genetic disorders also the question can be asked. So see whether the Klinefelters and Turner syndromes and all, you can just see the areas. And what is the dactylography? The dactylography or fingerprint or the Galton system, that can be also asked the question. And the thanatology in that one, the test for detection of breathing and circulation. Sometimes a question can be asked, sir. So the breathing and the circulation part, that is the areas which can be asked there. So here the breathing part, it is the test for the torch test or the test for circulation. It is with the diaphanos test. So you have to remember like dye the torch. Torch should be dyed like that, you have to remember. Then the ICARD dye, where the IV injection of dye is used. Magnus test is called as the ligature. So you have to remember like the magnet is done as a ligature or magnet ligature or magnet band, you can remember. Winslow's test means the chest movement is used. So the chest is having a slow movement. You can remember like that. The chest is having a slow movement. Then the cadavericity, cadaveric lividity, and the hypostasis and the muscular changes and the heat stiffening and the cold stiffening is there. And the adipocere and the saponification part is also there. Like it is seen in the cases of body immersed in water or a damp water environment is there. And the mummification is there, like the modification of putrefaction, and the environmental condition is hot and dry, and the exhumation conditions, digging out of an already buried body from the grave, and the no time limit for exhumation in India. That's part that can be asked sometimes. What is the time limit for exhumation? And the other area is regarding some of the asphyxial death can be asked. So one is regarding the mugging. Mugging is like this. So you have to remember the shoulder here we are holding a mug like this, and you are holding the mug. So it is called as the mug. The garroting is there. The garroting means you are made to sit in a chair, and over the art, the lever is changed. You have to remember like carrot lever, or the carrot chair, you can remember. And the other one is smothering. Smothering means you are taking a pillow and closing it and doing the asphyxial death. And also you have to remember the area when this position here, here when the chin touches here, at the time, the death will be happening in the judicial hanging. So judicial hanging, this is the commonest area where it is done. Then the question can be asked regarding the drowning part. That is, washerwoman's hand and feet where it is seen. That can be asked there. Then the other one is regarding the questions of boxer's attitude or the defense attitude, that is coming in the Burns part. And Burns, you have the rule of 9 part, or Dupuytren's Burns there. Rule of 9 means you have the 9 everywhere. So this limb is first part of the limb, it is 9 part, so 9 plus 9, 18. The front part of the chest there 9, and the back part of the chest it is 9. Like that, and the genital area is 1. Rest all the areas are 9. And the Dupuytren's areas means the deep burns, the superficial burns, and also the dermatical wounds, like that burns. It is the part which is mentioned. That is also the area where the question can be asked. And you have the battered baby syndrome. That also can be asked. And the MTP Act, it is in 1971, and in 2019 the amendment has come. That also can be asked there. An amendment act which is mentioned there. And you have something called as the delusion aspect. So the delusion is grandiose delusion is asked sometimes, or persecution, influence, the hallucination. Hallucination is of types like visual, auditory, then olfactory, and the tactile hallucination. The tactile hallucination is also called as Magnan symptom. Magnan symptom means for the drug addicts, this symptom is coming, like something crawling inside the skin, like that of symptom is coming for the Magnan symptom. That is also one of the questions which can be asked there. Then the Mental Health Act. The Mental Health Act was in 1987 there. The Indian Lunacy Act, which was passed in 1912 there. And Magnotten rule there. The right and the wrong test, or the legal test, that is all mentioned for the Magnotten rule. The drunkenness is mentioned in IPC section 85 there. Then you have the subapnea. Subapnea means the summons thing, and the conduct money. So the conduct money is only given in the cases of civil cases. You have to remember, in civil cases, the conduct money is given. Then the oral evidence is explained in section 63. Section 63, the oral evidence is mentioned. There are some questions regarding the medical ethics part, which we have already covered in the 1956. And sometimes if some questions can be asked in NCISM, you have to remember the NCISM, it was in the Act in 2020. This nurturing again the quality medical education. And before the NCISM, it was CCIM was there. And current NCISM, there is one president. There is the president which is elected for a term of 5 years, and the college's sanctioning or approval is also maintained by the NCISM. These are some of the area. And Consumer Protection Act in 1986 is there. And there are some declarations which is mentioned, like the Declaration of Oslo, that is for the therapeutic abortion. Declaration of Sydney, which is defining the death. Death definition is there. Declaration of Munich is there, that is discrimination of medicine. And the Helsinki Declaration, that is all about the human experimentation and the clinical trial, which is especially applicable for the research in sciences or research in medical sciences. And the Declaration of Lisbon is there, right? It is about the right of the patients. And the Declaration of Venice is there, that is for the terminal illness. And Declaration of Tokyo for the torture and the medicine there. Declaration of Geneva is there, that is the modernized version of Hippocratic Oath. Hippocratic Oath, the modernized version. And you have the Burns question. There is Dupuytren, there are 6 degrees of the burns, and the Wilson, there are 3 groups of the burns there. And you have the dermal, dermoepidermal, and the deep burns there. Epidermal, it is the blister coming there, and the dermoepidermal, it is the pain and the shock are greater. It is the most painful is the dermoepidermal burn there. The deep is less painless there. And you have the rule of 9 by the valleys. The rule of 9 by valleys is there. And the Parkland formula is there. There is the presence of soot particles which is present, and the heat hematoma, the thermal fracture, and the pugilistic attitude, that is also called as the boxer's attitude, which is present there. And you have the stab or the punching wounds, that is called as harakiri. In Japan, it is called as harakiri, like that. It is in Japan, which is told there. And we have the IPCs which is mentioned. So one of the important IPCs is regarding IPC 304B. B is for the dowry death. So how you have to remember is that B is for the bride and bride is for the dowry death. And you have a 304A that is caused by the death by the negligence cases. So negligence means it is happening in the cases of doctor. So A for apron, like that you can remember. And you have the schedules which is mentioned. The Drug and Cosmetic Act, it is 1940, and the Drug and Cosmetic Rules, it is 1945, which is mentioned. And also you have the Schedule C, that is for the biological and other products. And ideal suicidal poison is cyanide. And the most commonly used poison, generally in India, which is the most commonly used poison, that is the organophosphorus poison or endrin poison, which is mentioned. Organophosphorus or endrin poison. You have the differential diagnosis of arsenic with cholera and strychnine with tetanus and zinc with the malarial chills. That is why malarial chills is similar to which kind of poison? The question can be asked. It is about the zinc there. It is about the zinc. And where and all the garlic smell is coming. Already we have discussed regarding the arsenic. So in arsenic, it is coming. Aluminum phosphate, it is there. And also the phosphorus. And one other question which can be asked is regarding Diwali crackers are having which kind of poison? It is the phosphorus. Okay. I hope you have understood. Any doubt in these questions? Okay. So we will end today's class. Okay. Study well. Thank you. Today there is no time for telling the stories.